tired as fuck, but I'm not gonna stop doing these videos. On that note of persistence and staying on top of something and making sure that you don't give up and being consistent and persistent, I had success with one of my recent videos. I had success with this video, and it was a video about Jake Paul and the fight that's coming up. It was a really good video, right? So the way it was put together was what I really like. Is what I did was, it was a pre-existing video of Jake Paul dancing around, and here's the ideas of these things. So people will be like, oh, things just go viral. They don't just go viral. There's a reason why things are passed from person to person. It's not about the algorithm. It's about people. The algorithm isn't just something that, it's an operating system that's there so that people don't have to basically deal with it manually. The first thing I did, I went on Shade Room. And I'm always on Shade Room because you got to keep your ear to the streets. If you're going to want to know what's trending, that's where you got to be. People will try to be everywhere else, especially when something is inside your niche. Like for me, I do success, career, social media. So a lot of the stuff that's going to be in my lane, right, is going to be that. You want to make sure that you're keeping your ear to the streets for that. So if you do something else, you want to find the page that's going to basically be the Shade Room for that. And so basically I saw that he was going to be fighting Mike Tyson. As soon as I saw that, I started like looking around, seeing other stuff. And I think I had did a post maybe before that was like related to that, where it was like talking about it. And then I just saw, oh, okay, let me go look at this. I saw some like old footage of him dancing like that when he was younger. First thing I thought about was like, man, the same thing I always say. Look, this was like, this is humble beginnings. Regular guy doing his thing. Came up out of that, and look where he's at now. So that was like the meat and potatoes of my entire thing, was talking about that. That was the point of saying, hey, he was this. Look where he is now. That's crazy. That's great. So the flair that's on it is that video, because you're going to have people that are going to look at that and they're going to completely miss the point. They just want to hate on him. So I ended up doing both. That's just the one that hit. I did one that was silly of how Mike Tyson looked and said, oh, well, this is the guy that's going to be fighting Jake Paul. And then I did one that was like, oh, hey, this is the guy that's going to be fighting Mike Tyson. Because people hate Jake Paul so much, that's the one that everybody ended up like really, really, really going crazy over. And just because it's just such a stark contrast to what he is now. So the next thing I did, I found out where the fight was going to be held. Because when you post, you want to make sure that you're posting and using that geolocation. So when you post, you'll be putting up your video or whatever. Then it gives you options right before you put share. Right before you put share, there's the options of location. I pick the location. I do this with every video. Every time I have a video that I post, I'll make sure that the location is related to the post, related to the topic. So I know that the fight is going to be in Arlington, Texas. So I know that in Arlington, Texas, people are going to be going crazy because they know that the fight is coming. So they're hyped up about it. So I do a post about that. I did one that was about All-Star Weekend. So when I did one about All-Star Weekend, I found out where All-Star Weekend was. And then I put, okay, boom. That's the location where it was for that time. That's going to make sure that people in that area are seeing it more. And that's going to give your video the initial boost. There's no guarantee ever that this video is going to do great. I feel like the best thing you can always do is create it for yourself and make sure that you like it. Because if you can't watch the video more than one time, how's anybody else going to? It's yours. Like, you're supposed to support yourself more than anybody else. So next thing I did after I did that was I made sure to make sure that the text was right, all of that was good and everything. I commented on my own video. As soon as I posted, I commented on my own video. I had tweaked it a couple times because you can't change the comment. The comment was the comment. That comment is like at the bottom in like thousands. My comments are crazy right now on that because it went viral. But when I actually, was putting it up, I was tweaking the what's it called? The caption. I was tweaking the caption. So in the caption at first, I had like a question. Then I changed it again, and I changed it again, and I landed on basically saying who you got to win. That's going to have people you always have to think about your post as if you're walking into a room and it's a bunch of people in there and you're the host and you're showing something to them. That's what's happening. So you're showing something to them in this big room. And now how do you get people to continue to talk about this? So if I just show them, hey, this is my phone, they're going to be like, oh, right? But if I give it to a phone, show them a phone and I go, hey, I've got an iPhone. Which is better, iPhone or Android? Boom! You started World War III. Like, there's going to be a conversation now. You have created a more viral feeling for your thing. So, in the caption, I made sure to have really good copy. I made sure to ask a question. Then I slipped in there, follow and subscribe, da-da-da-da-da. I didn't have that before. And now watch this. When I first put it up, I didn't have follow and subscribe. So now when people go there, it just looks like a Jake Paul video on a random meme page. But when I put that in there, people see that and they're like, oh, follow this guy. Call to action. So I put it in there to follow me. Then I just basically gave more value. A lot of people might not even know Jake Paul. A lot of people might not even know that they're having a fight. So I put in there a whole paragraph, chopped it up a little bit of what was going on. Inform them that the fight was happening. This is going on. I stuffed so much value into that. There's no wonder it's going viral. There's no wonder it's going crazy. Every time I come back, I see another, and it's just going crazy. And now I get more and more people interested in having me as a social media manager, having me make content for them. There's more validity and credibility to the things that I say, because I've actually had a viral video. That's going to be the same thing for anything that you do. When you have success in that, that's going to give you success in other things because it connects. Whether it's visibility, people paying attention to you. That's how it goes. The more people with eyeballs on you, the more you're going to have whatever it is that you want, because attention is what? Currency. So the next thing I did was I sent it around to a couple people, especially people who I know are the arguers. I sent it around to them. Then I also had it in my story. I engaged. Engagement. I see so many people, they do all of the right steps. And then I go to the comments, and it's a bunch of people commenting, and the only thing they got to say back is fire emoji or prayer hands, right? That's not engaging. If you were in a room, if somebody said, hey, I like Android, great. You're not stimulating conversation. So if somebody said, hey, I like Android, why do you like Android? Oh, you like Android? You crazy. So I don't do it anymore because it's way too many comments, and I kind of feel like it's just too much if I'm responding to every comment. But what is happening is the first few comments, first 40, 50, I was going back and forth with people. I was talking, I was going back and forth. Now there's so many conversations in there that it has become a bigger thing where conversations just continue to go. So you want to make sure that you're engaging with people. Every comment is not going to be able to be something that you can prolong, because when a person just says, they just send fire emojis under your thing, there's not much you can do. You can kind of ask them, I would be the person to ask them, hey, what did you like about this? Hey, what should I do more of? Stuff like that. Even if you're DMing people, engage with your fans, engage with your community, build a community. Because when you have that, now it's okay, we're getting somewhere. People are coming to your page to have that engagement, because if you don't have engagement, people are just commenting and leaving, it's not going to go viral. So that was the next thing I did, of engaging people, having conversations, meaningful conversations in the comments, pinning comments. So now when I pin it, people have to come back, liking comments. People got to come back and see the video again. That counts as another view, right? Making sure that I take the comments and post it in my stories. You can post the stories. If you slide to the side, you can post the stories in your comments. There's so many layers to this. But when you're investing time into it, that's going to come back to you. And then you're going to reap the benefits of it. So after that, next thing was out in the real world. They say that only 20% of really what makes a video go viral actually happens online. 80% of it happens offline, where people are talking about it. Because the more they're talking about it, now it really spreads like wildfire. It really doesn't spread as much online as it does when you're like talking in person. So the next thing I did was I was speaking to people. I was going and be like, yo, you seen the Jake Paul fight? Oh, I made a video about it. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. And these are like people that I know, and now they're seeing it. So this is how it continues to go. So the first thing, great idea, great hook, having something that like kind of has a point to it. When you look at it, I made sure that I had the video, and it was based around something that was trending. It was something that was interesting. You have that who, what, when, where, and why of, I was explaining to myself, hey, who is it? It's Jake Paul. What's he doing? He's dancing and looking crazy. Why? Then the why is a big part, because I was trying to motivate people to help them understand that they can do this as well. And these are the humble beginnings that it comes from. And you have to start somewhere, right? Then I got the where, Arlington, Texas. I put that in there. The next thing was me making sure that I engage with it and engaging with the people on the post, sending it to people. There's a lot going on there. But now you know how I did it. There's more on my page on Instagram where it's kind of like more concrete if some of this kind of like was rambly. So I have the exact chart on my Instagram, and watch this over, man. Like it's like a conversation. You're gonna get different things each time, but the best thing for you is to make sure that you're practicing this. And that's why I spoke about consistency in the beginning, because the more consistent you are with this, the more consistent you are with posting, the more you're gonna learn. And also following people who are also doing it. Invest. The more you put into it, the more you get out. And as always, keep going.